Hello. Let's see if anyone is online. I'll give it a few minutes to see if anyone joins us. So, our lesson today is about booking tickets. Let's see if anyone is interested in booking tickets today. Hi, Luca. Is someone else online or is it just Luca? How are you today, Luca? Everything okay? It looks like it's just you and me for the moment. Hi, Eric. You don't want to write, Eric? Why not? Are you feeling lazy? Yeah, lazy? You don't want to work? You just want to stay on the sofa and do nothing? If you just listen, Eric, okay, you can just listen, but it helps me a lot when students make comments. It helps me to understand if my lesson is super boring or interesting. Anyway, if you want to write, please do. Okay, so our lesson today is about booking tickets. We're going to talk about when you book tickets, in which situations. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for coming. And we're also going to talk about buying tickets, how you can pay for tickets or pay for something in general. So let's see. Here we have some different places where we can buy tickets. We have the first one. I don't know if you can see on the screen. I hope it's not too small. What is the first place, the first picture on the left, top left? What is it? Can you tell from the picture? There are many people and there's music. And it could be in a stadium if it's a very big one, or it could be in a smaller auditorium. It depends. Actually, if we look at the places, all those places are closed at the moment. Thank you, Eric. You're so nice. Thank you for writing comments. So what is in the first picture? Anyone? Do you understand? I'll tell you the first one. It's a concert. I don't know if you can tell. It's a rock concert, to be more specific. Picture number 2, you can see something green. What is it? What place is it? Well done, Andrea. Yes, I know with this small picture, it's, as Andrea says, he can see a man with a guitar. And yes, it was a concert. I don't know which band, the Rolling Stones. And then the second picture is green. There's a lot of running. A lot of people watching. What is this place? Yes, thank you, Luca. It's a stadium. Well done. So it's at a stadium and it's a football match because you can book a ticket for a football match at the stadium. Personally, I have never been to a football match in a stadium. So I don't know the feeling, the emotion at the stadium. Picture number 3. I don't know if you can see, there is quite a big lady, and she is singing very loud. She's singing with a strong voice. What is it? It's not a rock concert. Actually, in the picture, the lady has like a Viking hat and a very interesting outfit. What is it? Eric is confused. Like, what is this thing? What is it? Anyone? Luca? Andrea? Any idea what it is? No? It's the opera. Yes. As Andrea says, considering the shape, her shape, she might be a soprano. And it's opera. Very good. So we have the rock concert, the football match, the opera. Then we have these 2 masks. We have a happy face and a sad face. These 2 masks represent what? What is this? It's a place and it's a form of art. Yay, Eric, the theater. Well done. The theater. And then we have a place that I think is familiar to you. It says coming soon. What is this place? You have maybe some red velvet seats. Yes, Eric, it's the cinema. And finally, you have many, many musicians. You have violin players, maybe, I don't know, some singers in the background. I can't see really other instruments. What is it? Eric, you don't like the cinemas? The cinema or the movies? So cinema is more British and the movies is more American, but it's the same thing. You don't? I thought everyone liked movies. Do you prefer to watch films at home more than at the movies? I haven't been to the movies, okay, apart from the coronavirus crisis, I haven't been to the cinema in a long time. I've forgotten what it's like to go to the cinema. I never have time. Ah, Luca, you've already done this focus? The same one? It was also about booking tickets. Uh-oh. So for Luca, this focus will be super easy. I promise I didn't choose this focus. It was chosen by someone else. So the last place is the symphony. You can buy a ticket for the symphony. The symphony is classical music, but it's not the opera. It's just music played with instruments. So Eric says that he doesn't like films because they're so long and annoying. Maybe you haven't watched the right film, Eric. You haven't found a film for you that you like. But I know that personally at the moment, I prefer to watch TV series because they are shorter than movies. Because if I think, oh, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours to watch a film, I'm too tired or I don't have time. So here, if we continue, we have some places in the theater. Oh, I'm sorry, Andrea. And Luca, you've already done this lesson. I think that we have made a lot of focus activities recently, and maybe we've done twice the same ones by mistake. I'm so sorry. I will tell Lisa about it. So this should be easy. Oh, and Eric too. Oh my. We have an expression in English, easy peasy. When something is really easy, we can say, oh, this is easy peasy. Or we can say, this is a piece of cake. So this is a piece of cake, it's very easy also. This focus is a piece of cake. I've done it twice already. Okay, so let's see the different locations. The stage, what is the stage? Since you guys already know everything, you can help me to teach the lesson. What is the stage? The stage, what is the stage? That's a very important place at the theater. You can see it written here in gray. Thank you, Andrea. You're very generous. Andrea says that repetition is always useful, so he can do the lesson again. So the stage, guys, is as you probably already know, it's not, it's a false friend in Italian. Many people in Italian think that a stage or a stage is when you work in a company for the first time to get some work experience. But in English, the stage is the place where the actors or the singers perform. So if here in gray we have the stage, F, the first people that are closest to the stage, what's this part called, guys? F. What is F? Is it a gift voucher? Is it the balcony, the orchestra, the mezzanine, the rear, or the box office? Yes, Eric, the stage is the palcoscenico. Exactly. So, of course, if you don't have a stage at the theater, it's a bit strange. So F, I know we're not doing these in the correct order, but F near the stage is called what? This part in yellow. It's called the orchestra. So sometimes in some concerts or some, like the opera, you might have the orchestra, the players, the musicians can be in this part. Obviously, at the theater, there is usually no orchestra, so people can actually sit in this area here. Then E, we go a little bit behind, and E is called what? What is E? This middle part for the audience. Are you guys still there? Eric, Luca, and Andrea? Do you want me to answer myself? No problem. E is called the mezzanine. If you speak Italian, it's very easy because it comes from mezzo or mezza, so in the middle, the mezzanine. Then D, you have to imagine that D is probably, oh, wait, no, D actually, no, I'm good. Yes, well done, guys. The mezzanine, and D is the back, back, back. Another word for the back in English is what? A synonym of back. We can use this word also to talk about the back of a car. We can also we can use this word to talk about the place on your body where you sit down. You can say, I've been on a horse all day and my hurts. So D, I thought that D was the balcony too. But D actually is not the balcony, because if you look at picture A, I don't know if you can see, picture A is higher. So that is the balcony. You're up and you can see down to the stage. Also like a balcony in your apartment. So actually D is the rear. Yes, thank you guys. The rear. The rear is another word for the back. Yeah. So I could say I had a car accident and I broke the rear of my car, the back of my car. So we said A is the balcony. B, what is B? It says tickets. I don't know if you can read tickets in small letters. Tickets is I'm sorry, Eric. I'm putting pressure on you. Eric says, guys, I write slowly. Please, I need to take my time. And I'm putting pressure on the students. You know, Eric, I am not a patient woman. This is my biggest defect. My biggest weakness. I am an impatient woman. I apologize. So B is the box office. Yes, where you can buy your tickets. You can have a box office also at the cinema. And C, what is C, guys? It says to and from. It's something, for example, if I don't know what to buy for a present, for a birthday, I can buy this. And it's like money that the person can use in a shop, or they can also use it at the theater. So it's the first one, yeah, a gift voucher. So let me connect the words. Okay. It's in this order. Gift voucher is C. Very good, Eric. Balcony is A. Orchestra, we said, is the letter was not very clear. It looks like the yellow part is the orchestra, but actually the orchestra should be between the stage and the yellow part, so kind of in the middle. Then we have the mezzanine, which is E in red. We have the rear, which is the blue part, letter D. And finally, the box office, B. Okay. Now we're going to be more specific. When you buy your ticket, it has some information on the ticket that will tell you where to sit. So the ticket is based on two things usually. It's based on this thing, the chairs together, that can have a letter of the alphabet or a number. Also in the airplane, it's a similar situation. So let's start with A. A is what? Okay, Luca, no problem. You're a busy man. Many things to do. Yes, A is a seat. So a seat is basically a chair or an armchair. Also, if you come to my office or to my house, I can say, please take a seat. Basically, sit down, take a seat. Then B is this kind of corridor in the middle between the seats. What is the name? So we have this part in an airplane, in a train. We even have this part in a church and in a supermarket. So it's very good. It's letter B is the aisle. So be careful with the pronunciation. I know that there's an S, but the S is silent. A bit like the word island. It's not Iceland, it's island. The same for aisle. Also, the A is not pronounced. So an aisle at the supermarket is not exactly a corridor, but it's a place where you have shelves with food or different products. So they can have also a number, aisle 1, aisle 2, aisle 3. Excuse me, where is the sugar? The sugar is in aisle 5, for example. Then we have C. C, remember, another word for the back. Eric, too, you have another lesson. You guys are so busy. When you have one lesson and then immediately after you have another lesson or another appointment, we can say, I have 2 lessons back to back. So back to back means that they're exactly one after the other. Because, for example, Eric and Luca have both told me that they have a lesson immediately after this lesson. So they have to leave a few minutes early. So they have 2 lessons back to back. Well done. Yes, C is the rear, so the back of the audience. And D is what? If the C is the rear, then D is the front. Indeed. So I don't know at the cinema what you prefer. Do you prefer to sit? The connection is bad. Sorry, guys. Do you guys prefer to sit at the front or at the rear when you go to the cinema? Personally, because I'm so tall, it's better if I sit in the middle or in the rear. If I sit at the front, then people cannot see the film. I block their view. But I don't like to sit at the rear. I prefer to sit in the middle. But when you are students in class, maybe you prefer to sit in the rear. I know that when I was a student, the rear, the back of the class, was the most popular place to sit. Nobody wanted to sit at the front of the class near the teacher. Maybe now it's different. Okay. And finally, E, when you have a line of seats, how do we call that? A line of seats. A line of seats, which could also be in the airplane, is called a row. So let's connect the words. A is a seat. E is a row. Well done, guys. Aisle is B. Rear is C. And front is D. So row 7, seat, I think maybe in the airplane, the row has a number and the seat has a letter. But I think at the cinema, it's the opposite, maybe. You have a letter for the row and a number for the seat. So it could be row A, seat 20, for example. Let's continue. Then here we have the stadium, which is a place, as I said, I never go to, so I am not an expert about this thing. We have first the directions. So I guess you could be sitting on the south side of the stadium or on the north side. Let's see. A. What is A? You know your directions, guys? A is north. Well done. B is what? This is, if you think about the United States, this is how I always think about it to remember. B is not south. If you look at the United States and you have California on that side and New York on the other side, so basically California is B and New York is C. We call California the West Coast, the West. And we call New York and Boston the East Coast. So B is West and C is East. We can also remember that East is where the sun comes up. So China is in the East. Then D, I mean, compared to Italy, of course. D is what? Yes, south. So you have north, okay. Then we have something called the away section. What is the away section? Any ideas? Because when I go to see a football match, I can go to, let's say Fiorentina is playing. If I am a fan of Fiorentina and I go to Florence, to the stadium in Florence, I am not a visitor. I am watching the match of my team, and this is called a home game. It's a game where the team plays in their stadium. But sometimes the team plays in a different stadium, a stadium that is not theirs. For example, if Fiorentina plays Juventus and they go to Turin, they play, it's an away match. So the away section in the stadium is the section reserved for visitors, the people who are not members of the team. Then we have something called club level. I think that club level are the seats that are the best seats that are near the stage, near the football field. And the nosebleed is the part that is super, super far from the football field. Literally, a nosebleed is when there's blood coming out of your nose. So I don't know why that part E, is called the nosebleed. I have no idea. I'm sure there's a reason, but I don't know it. So let's connect. A is north, D is south, B is, C is east, west is B. Then we have the away section with the visitors, the club level. So maybe the club level is not the closest level. No, I think the club level is reserved for the special members of the club. And maybe it's a bit like the VIP section, I guess. And then we have the nosebleed, where you cannot see anything. You have to have some binoculars to see the match. Let's continue. Okay, here we have a dialogue to reserve a ticket on the phone. Or we could do it directly in person. It depends. So at the moment, with the coronavirus emergency, we have to do a lot of things on the phone. We cannot go directly in person. So this is a good exercise. So we're on the phone. Hello, how can I help you? Which blue sentence is the correct one to put after hello, how can I help you? We have 6 different options. We could say the 16th of April, please. Yes, Andrea, the away section is reserved for visitors, indeed. Then we have number 2. Great, 2 tickets in the mezzanine. 3, how about the 25th? 4, thank you. 5, I'd like 2 tickets for Phantom of the Opera. And 6, in person, please. So how do you think we can start this conversation? If I say, hello, I work at the theater. And I say, hello, how can I help you? What do you say? What is the first thing that you say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? Andrea has just given us the explanation why the section is called a nosebleed. Thank you, Andrea. He got this information from another teacher at the school. Well done, Jennifer. I didn't know that apparently it's so high up in that section of the stadium that because of the altitude, your nose bleeds. I had no idea, so thank you for this information. So Luca says correctly, I'd like 2 tickets for Phantom of the Opera, which is a musical. So let's see this. Very good. Which date would you like? Eric, you said you saw an ambulance driving to your house, to a house, or 20 minutes away from your house, or 20 meters from your house? Well, hopefully it was nothing bad. I think at the moment there are less people that are infected, so fingers crossed that it was just someone that maybe broke their leg or that had an accident and needed an ambulance. Yeah. That's not a lot. Okay, so this is a bit unrelated to the lesson, but I hope that everything is fine. So, Luca, you're keeping us on track. You say the 16th of April, please. Yes, good. I'm sorry. That show is sold out. Sold out is when there are no places left. No places left. So what do we need to do? We need to change maybe the date. So what sentence would be correct? We have 2, 3, 4, and 6 that are possible. So yes, good job, Luca. Maybe we should change the date. So how about the 25th? We're giving a second option. Yes, there are still seats for that night. So maybe now we have to decide where we want to sit. Which option is correct? Number 2, number 4, number 6. You guys are leaving already? You're leaving 20 minutes early, not 25 minutes early. That's fine, guys. You do what you have to do. Bye-bye. So I think, Andrea, it's just you and me now. You can't hear me, Eric. Bye-bye. No problem. Okay. So what were we saying? Yes, there are still seats for that night. So we could say, great. 2 tickets in the mezzanine. So at this point, you're still here. Ah, Eric, you're saying bye to Luca. Okay, I get it. I get it. Stay with me, Eric. Stay with me. So at this point, the phone operator or the person recapitulates all the things that we have asked. So, okay, that's 2 tickets for Phantom of the Opera. Would you prefer to pay by phone or in person? By phone or in person? So at this point, I think the answer is quite obvious. The person wants to, okay, in 10 more minutes, okay. So at this point, the person says, in person, please, when they go to the theater. Okay, have a good evening. And the other person answers, thank you. That's the polite thing to say, thank you. You can even say, thank you, you too. So have a good evening too. So here we have 4 different places where we can book a ticket. We can go to a rock concert, we can go to a sports match, we can go to the theater, or we can go to the cinema. Guys, do you have any preference? What would you prefer to do? Andrea and Eric, any preference? Otherwise, I will choose. No preference. Eric says, I don't want any of these options. No, thank you. We have to choose one. Shall I decide? Well, we've already talked a lot about the cinema and the theater. So I'm going to choose the rock concert. And here we have an example of a dialogue. So again, it's a similar conversation from the previous one, the one before, where the person is on the phone. It could also be face-to-face. Good evening. How can I help you? I'd like 4 tickets to Coldplay, please. Okay, Milan or Bologna? So here maybe you can have 2 options or even more options for a concert. If it's a tour and the band is going to different cities, maybe you have to choose the location of the concert. Milan, please. Oh, I'm sorry, that show is sold out. We still have tickets for Bologna. Okay, the Bologna show, please. Where would you prefer to sit? So this is a bit strange. Usually at a rock concert, you cannot sit. As you see in the picture, you have many people standing up. So in some concerts, maybe you have some seats, but at a rock concert, it seems a bit strange. But they say, I would prefer the balcony. Okay, 4 tickets for the balcony. Do you want to pay by credit card or at the venue? Guys, do you know what the venue is? What is the venue? Any ideas? What does it mean, the venue? I don't know if there's a delay between the lesson and the... I think there's a big delay, actually, between Andrea and me. So the venue is the place where something happens. So the concert happens. It could be another, yes, as Eric says, the sede. But you wouldn't really say this for a company. Like you wouldn't say the company's venue is there. But for the location of a bar or a concert, or we could say the venue, or a club. So I could say, let's meet directly at the venue. Let's meet directly where the entertainment is happening. Yeah. So it's a bit like at the place, not so specific. You can pick them up at the box office. So you can book your tickets online. You can even pay online, but then you can pick up your tickets directly at the stadium or at the cinema. Or now I think a lot of people like to book online. So either they print their ticket, or they have maybe their ticket on their phone, or they can pick up their ticket directly there. So if you wanted to see a concert, you would have to call maybe the number and say which band or which singer you would like to see, how many tickets you would like to buy, where you would like to sit or maybe stand, and if you prefer to pay by credit card or pay in person. So it's a bit difficult to do this dialogue with comments, so let's just move on to the next option. Here we have a dialogue about the cinema. I know Eric says he doesn't like the cinema, but we can do the dialogue anyway. So, good evening. How can I help you? I'd like tickets to the Lego movie, please. Okay, which showing? The showing is what? The showing, if you go to the cinema, maybe for the same film, you can see that the same film is at 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m. So these are all different showings. And maybe if one showing is sold out, there are no tickets left, you can stay for the next showing. Maybe you can have dinner and then watch the film at 9 or 10 p.m. So which showing? The 9:15 p.m., please. I'm sorry. That showing is sold out. We still have tickets for the midnight show. So I don't know about you, but if I start watching a film at midnight, I will fall asleep very quickly. It's too late for me. But if you're young and you have the energy, you can watch the film at midnight. They say, okay, 4 tickets, please. Do you want to pay by credit card or at the venue? At the venue. You can pick them up at the box office an hour before the show. You can pick them up, you can collect them at the show. So again, here we have the questions. If you guys want at home, you can practice the dialogue and ask the correct questions. And you can go back and look at the dialogue if you've forgotten anything important. Eric says he doesn't like films in 3D. You know that I have never watched a film in 3D, so I have no idea what it's like. Now I think they also have 4D or 5D. I'm not sure. But once my husband went to watch a Star Wars film in a special cinema where they had the chairs moved. So you had like lots of different effects. And I think it was 4D or 5D. I don't know how it's called. But I've never done this. I don't know if it's good or not. They make you throw up. But I think because I have maybe a problem with my eyes, I can't do these 3D effects. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried these books where you have a picture inside and you have to look at the picture at a certain distance and you have like a 3D effect that comes out. I have never, ever managed to do this. I cannot see the 3D effect. Also, I went to the doctor with my daughter, who's very little. And usually they give children an eye test to see if they can see well or not. And there's a picture with lots of little dots, and you have to recognize a picture inside, like a cat or a dog, and I looked at it and I couldn't see anything. So I don't know if I have a problem with my eyes. So I don't know if it's the 3D effect that doesn't work with me. Oh no, Eric, poor Eric. Throwing up at the cinema is not a good experience. I don't recommend it. So since we have a little bit of time, let me change the screen and I want to show you a different dialogue, this time about booking a ticket. If you look online on YouTube, for example, you can find lots of different videos about booking tickets. But these videos are usually about booking a train ticket or booking a bus ticket. or an airplane ticket, which are quite useful. At the moment, not really, but in a few months, they will be very useful when we can travel again. So if you have time, type buying a ticket on YouTube, and you will probably find some other teachers or some dialogues about booking a ticket. What a beautiful metaphor. What a beautiful image, Eric. Eric was talking about throwing up, which is very, very charming for our lesson. And this is his message. He says, like Frozen when Elsa sprays the snow and the wind arrives. So this is a very poetic image for throwing up. I love it. So for booking tickets, let me change the screen and let me share something different. Okay. Okay, I don't know if you can read it very well. Maybe I can make it a bit bigger. This is the biggest I can go. So I found this on another website where teachers share their references. It's called ISL English. And so this is a conversation between a reservation clerk. A clerk is a person that works in an office, and Mary Jones, who wants to book a ticket. So, the reservation clerk is probably on the phone, and she says, Northwind Airways, good morning. May I help you? Or they can say, how can I help you? Can I help you? May I help you? May I help you is more polite. Mary Jones says, yes. Do you have any flights to Sydney next Tuesday afternoon? The reservation clerk says, one moment, please. So probably she's looking on the computer. Yes, there's a flight at, be careful. In English, we cannot say 16:45. This is not correct. The correct way to say it is 4:45 or 4:45. And one at 6. Mary Jones says, that's fine. Could you tell me how much? Okay, you have to go, Eric. Bye. See you soon. Bye-bye. Mary Jones says, that's fine. Could you tell me how much a return flight costs? Andrea, what is a return flight? And what is the opposite of a return flight? So you can fly, or you can take a train or a bus in 2 different ways. You could go in one direction, or you can go there and then come back. So how do we call a ticket when you go only in one direction? And how do we call a ticket when you go and you come back? Andrea? I don't know if Andrea is getting my message. So maybe there's a bit of a delay. So a return ticket is in 2 directions, which is not really obvious, but a return ticket is when you go and then you come back to the point of origin. A single ticket is when you go just in one direction and you don't come back. So I'll be staying 3 weeks. So this person is staying 3 weeks in Australia. So then it's important what type of ticket. Economy, business class, or first class ticket? Economy, please. Okay, that would be 346 euros. Okay, could I make a reservation? I'm just going to scroll a little bit. Could I make a reservation? Certainly. Which flight would you like? The 4:45, please. Could I have your name, please? So there it's very important that you spell your name, especially if you have a difficult name. I find that Italian names and surnames are very difficult to spell for American and British people. Also, Chinese names are difficult to spell for us. So my name is Mary Jones. That's MaryJones. How would you like to pay? Ms. When you have MS is Ms. Jones. Can I pay at the check-in desk when I pick up my ticket? So this, I don't know, if it's a flight tomorrow, it's possible. If it's a flight next week, I don't think you can pay at the last minute. You have to pay on time. Yes, but you will have to confirm this reservation at least 2 hours before departure time. I see. And this is the last part of the dialogue. The reservation clerk says, now you have been booked, Miss Jones. The flight leaves at 4:45 and your arrival in Sydney will be at 9:25 a.m. local time. Very important. If you fly in a different place, it's important to know the local time. The flight number is NWA 476. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I shall see you again soon for another lesson. Thank you, Andrea, for the answer. I feel like there's at least a 5-minute delay between my question and your answer. So I don't know if it's my connection or your connection or our two connections together, but thank you so much for following the lesson. And I will see you again soon, and everyone else who watches the lesson. Bye-bye.